That make sure y'all support that DoggieDiamondsTV.com. That's what I watch when I'm chilling out. DoggieDiamondsTV.com. Don't hate, congratulate.
DoggieDiamondsTV.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, because out of YouTube, you're the only. Hold on, let's get the split first.
If you don't love America, leave it.
You know, this film.
Okay.
Okay. So say what you was gonna say.
All right. Out of everybody that's on the lecture circuit right now, you two are the only ones fighting this homosexual. I know your expertise is educating the children, and you're definitely vocal on fighting homosexuality. You're definitely just vocal on fighting homosexuality. Explain to the people how important it is that we take a stance against homosexuality this day and age, since it's being pushed on not just the adults, but now our children.
Well, it's a population control. Two men can't reproduce, two women can't reproduce. So if you can convince the children to cohabitate with people of the same gender, you can eliminate a whole generation. You understand? If every child, black child in America today decides not to reproduce with someone of the opposite gender, you wipe us out. And that's why it's being pushed on all 7 continents as aggressively as it is. And then on top of that, they infected the homosexual males with the AIDS, so they go on the down low with the bisexuality, and that's why black women leave the world and new AIDS kids undiagnosed. Not only is it about the bestiality of European culture, it's about the extermination of African people. It's the highest level of eugenics because you prevent birth. Homicide, you got to kill a life that's here. Police genocide, you got to kill a life that's here. So the homosexuality, you prevent the egg from meeting the semen. You stop conception in its tracks.
All right, Genie, now you've been fighting this for years, and I know you talked about economics and other things, but homosexuality has been your platform. Why do you think it's so important that black people stop celebrating and supporting homosexuality and even integrating it with non-black people?
What the brother said really hit the nail right in the center. It's genocide. It's extermination. If we look at the Atlantic slave trade, there were black people who were confused about what the interests of whites were. And so they would assist the whites in enslaving us, dragging us into enslavement. The purpose was to build this nation and use our economic intellect and building ability, capacity to build them a great nation. That was the genocide we were facing then, but it was enslavement, and they wanted to exploit us. Now they don't need to exploit us anymore. They want to kill us. They want to exterminate us. So now we have black people just like those that helped put us into slavery, who are conditioned to believe that the very behavior that will kill our people, men sleeping with men, women sleeping with women, that destroys African culture, that destroys the fabric of the relationship of what makes us a race, the black man and the black woman. If you go to the temples of Kemet, if you look anywhere, if you go into West Africa, you see the statue. Men intertwine with women. Why? Because that foundation is what allowed us to build black civilization and produce multiple generations. If we stop properly bonding between black men and black women, we are effectively committing suicide. But because the whites are orchestrating it and forcing us to do it, it becomes genocide. We have to understand something. The slave traders that came over on the boats to get our ancestors, everyone you will look at from the first one, Christopher Columbus, all of them were homosexuals and pedophiles. So homosexuality and pedophilia for African people have been equivalent and synonymous with slavery. So now you have enslavement through the prison industrial complex, and what do they do when brothers go in there? If you're rebellious, they make brothers get raped. They get our sisters get molested. Sexual terrorism that we are facing as a race of people. How do you know if somebody is really genuinely concerned about the interests of black people? You don't look at the things that they can say that are safe. When the war is relevant to a people at that moment, who is it that's talking about the relevant battles for our race? Brother Umar is talking about the relevant battles. The homosexual assault on our race is genocide. The pedophile and the molestation of our children is genocide. It's orchestrated. It's on every television show, in every program. It's on every cartoon. It's in every school. They're putting it in the books because they're coming to disgender our children for genocide. The people who take a stand against it and stand firmly on African values and culture are your real leaders. Because today, that is what the whites will fight you for. I just got banned from Bermuda because I went to Bermuda and had the nerve to say black men should only be with black women and have black children and produce a future. That's enough in today's market to get you banned from a country because they have invested so much in the homosexualization and the sexual destruction of the black race, that even breathing the words that a black man supposed to be loyal to a black woman will bring you harm and bring you, the white enemies will come down on you. So I would say this to my brothers and sisters. That's how in today's market you measure a black leader. Will they say homosexuality is not black and that it's hurting our community? Will they organize to stop the pedophiles from raping our children and bring an end to this? And if they are not talking about that, what are they talking about in 2015?
All right, you got it from Dr. Umar Johnson and the Irritated Genie, two brothers that stand strong in preserving our race. They're not talking about what happened thousands and tens of thousands of years ago. They're coming with concrete solutions. Support Dr. Umar and his Frederick Douglass Academy.
Prince of Pan-Africanism, DrUmarJohnson.com. Help us. We're trying to raise that $2 million to purchase that black college, St. Paul's in Lawrenceville, Virginia. Go online, GoFundMe.com/Dr. Umar. Go to the website, DrUmarJohnson.com. Send that resume, fdmgresumes@gmail.com. We need teachers, but we also need farmers. We need barbers. We need those who can prepare natural food. We're going to have an aviation academy as well as a maritime academy. Manchester, England, I'll see you next week. South Africa, can't wait to see you the week after that. Paris, France, week after that. St. Augustine's College, November 14th. North Carolina, Las Vegas, January the 3rd. Jackson, Mississippi, January the 1st. Houston, Texas, January the 26th. Atlanta the 28th. And Detroit the 30th. Good Garvey Day, Race First Renegades, Pan-Africanism or perish.
How the hell do you remember all that?
All right.
I just got one question, last question. How do you feel about people holding the red, black, and green flag in support of homosexuality?
That is confusion and it's propaganda. Remember, the best way you can destroy strong black family is you have to infiltrate the family system with a corrupted LBGT agenda. And that's why we have to be careful, because a lot of the groups that are getting the media's attention today have been handpicked by the government to confuse RBG with LBGT. If you study Pan-Africanism, any of the fathers, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, you were not allowed to participate in the movement if you were sexually confused. So what they're trying to do now is bring leadership in the form of sexual confusion to confuse those of us who are heterosexual into believing that the black struggle and the homosexual struggle are equal. Black people did not fight to have sex. Black people fought to be treated like people. Homosexuals have never been systematically degraded in the American social order. They've never been dehumanized, they've never been enslaved, and they've never been systematically disenfranchised. And you must keep in mind that many of the major slave owners in the South were homosexuals who raped black men. So there's never been a relationship between homosexuality and heterosexuality in the black community. And we also need to understand this. This whole thing is based on the principle of complementarity. In African culture, the female energy balances the male energy. The universe is based on complementarity. Every atom in existence has a positive charge and a negative charge, a yin and a yang, a masculine and a feminine. Once we start saying that we're going to put two feminine molecules together or two masculine molecules together, we are disordering the universe. So you ask, is homosexuality a disorder? Of course it is. Anything that goes against the natural order of things is a disease.
And with that, can we get a straight black pride?
Shout out to the straight black pride movement. Shout out to the unapologetically African movement. Shout out to the proud African movement. Race First Renegades, Garvey Day, Pan-Africanism of Parish. We want the African Union to know that the African Union need to start speaking up for Africans in America, because y'all not really pushing. Y'all not talking about our situation, and we need to be at that international table of African people, because we are the most economically progressive group of Africans in the world. So if Africa is going to be saved, we have to play a role in that. So let's reach hands across the Atlantic, hands across the Pacific, and let's give to the world the first truly Pan-African Federation of States. We need that.
That's what it is.
Dr. Irritated Genie.
Listen, brothers and sisters, the straight black pride movement is coming to wherever you are. Listen, it's real simple. If you straight, that means you know that homosexuality is wrong and you will fight against it. You're not with the pedophilia and the sexual abuse of our children, and you will fight to prevent it. If you're black, that means you got a black mother and father, and you have some pride, dignity, and self-respect. We ask you to come out and support this movement. You can go to Facebook. It's right there on Facebook, Straight Black Pride Movement. We have a chapter in New York. We got a chapter here in DC. November 21st, we're beginning a chapter in Atlanta. That's right, the heart of the homosexual assault on African people. So we want you to come out and support. And if you're in the Washington, DC area tomorrow, Sunday, October the 11th, come on out, 3 to 6. We're going to be at Sankofa Cafe and Books. Come on out, it's free, 3 to 6, support that business, and come on out and support the Straight Black Pride movement. Straight Black Pride.